8 doors, 8 chances to choose. But some guests find the 9th, and once it opens, they're never seen again. Tonight, we step inside a mansion where curiosity can be deadly. Who will survive and who will vanish? Are you brave enough to follow the path of the 9th door? Hey everyone, welcome back to Silent Scream. And if you're new here, you're in for something special. Tonight, we're diving into a story that twists reality, where a mansion hides secrets even the bravest fear to speak of. 8 doors, countless mysteries, and a 9th that changes everything. Stick with us because the story is just beginning. Ready to see what lies behind the 9th door? The mansion sat at the edge of the city like a secret the skyline had tried to forget. 8 doors lined its facade, each polished to a cold, uninviting gleam, each numbered in brass. Locals whispered about the parties, the invitations sent in embossed black cards with silver lettering, but everyone who attended spoke less and less of what happened inside. Jasper had received one of those cards that morning, slid under his apartment door with the quiet precision of inevitability. The note promised an evening of elegance, conversation, and choices. He had been drawn to mysteries all his life, yet something about the mansion made his skin crawl, the kind of itch that clawed beneath reason. When he arrived, the valet barely blinked. The doors loomed taller than he remembered from the pictures, and the air inside smelled of cold marble and something faintly metallic. Guests mingled, laughing too brightly, eyes glinting with the unease Jasper felt himself swallowing. 8 doors, each identical, each closed. But behind one, some claimed, there was a 9th, and the 9th didn't just hide, it devoured. Jasper didn't believe in urban legends, not until the first guest walked through a door that wasn't there. The 9th door appeared like a ripple in air that had never quite been solid. Jasper had watched a man named Harold drift toward the far end of the hall, brushing his hand against the dark oak panels between the 8th and 7th doors, and then stop. His expression was blank. Harold turned a fraction too late, glanced over his shoulder, and seemed to dissolve into the wall itself. A faint shimmer, a soft tearing of the atmosphere, and then he was gone. The guests around him continued to laugh, drink, and chatter, oblivious to his absence. Jasper felt his pulse spike. Every rational thought fled. He tried to call out, but his voice caught in his throat. Some force seemed to hum just beyond comprehension. The mansion itself felt alive, a careful predator. It fed on attention, fear, curiosity. Every door seemed ordinary until it wasn't, until it invited you. Jasper forced himself to move, convincing himself that logic still existed, that perhaps Harold had slipped through a side exit. But the house had no exits he could see. He ran his fingers along the walls, cold and unyielding, searching for any seam, any crack, any 9th door. But the hall stretched endlessly, doors repeating like a looped nightmare. The lights flickered overhead, shadows bending toward him in impossible angles. He could hear whispers, low and serpentine, as if the walls themselves murmured secrets meant to trap the mind. A woman appeared, elegant in a dark green dress, pale skin almost luminescent in the dim chandelier light. She smiled at him, but her eyes held the same blankness Harold had carried. "You don't belong here," she said softly, her voice melodic but hollow. No one belongs here." Jasper stepped back. The door behind her wasn't numbered. It was smooth, unmarked, black as obsidian, and it pulsed like a heartbeat. And yet when he looked again, it had vanished. The night stretched and warped. Guests whispered of secret rooms, of corridors that led nowhere and everywhere at once. Some swore the ninth door wasn't a physical object at all. It was a choice, a surrender, a fracture between desire and fear. Jasper didn't understand. He only knew that he had to keep moving, to keep breathing, to keep his mind intact. He wandered the halls, the numbers repeating endlessly. 1 through 8, 8 through 1, doors mocking him with their symmetry. Footsteps echoed round corners that should not exist, and behind each turn he caught glimpses of figures vanishing into walls, dissolving into thin air. Their faces weren't scared. They were empty, serene, as if the ninth door offered freedom, or worse, oblivion.
Jasper found a library, shelves stretching impossibly high, books bound in leather so dark they swallowed light. He tried to open one, any one, but his fingers passed through it as if it were smoke. The whispers grew louder here, a chorus of promises and threats that stitched themselves into his mind. The words were in no language he knew, yet he understood them perfectly. Step forward, step through, become nothing, become everything. A mirror leaned against the far wall. He approached it, and in the reflection he saw himself, not his face, but a shadowy figure behind him, stepping closer. He spun around. Nothing. When he looked back at the mirror, the figure smiled. He had never moved. Hours, or was it minutes, passed. Time had no weight in the mansion. Each hall led him back to the main foyer where the 8 doors waited patiently, as if the mansion knew he was coming. A ninth might appear at any moment. A ninth might be hiding, waiting for his curiosity to betray him. Jasper tried to leave, to push open the front door. It was locked, smooth, impervious, blending seamlessly into the wall. The windows, tall and grimy, revealed nothing but darkness outside. The mansion existed alone in space, alone in time. The realization hit him with cold clarity. He had walked into a trap with no exit. And then he saw it. The ninth door. Black, smooth, pulsing, nothing like the polished wood of the others. It seemed to breathe, and when he looked away, it was gone. When he looked again, it had shifted, closer now, as if the mansion was nudging him, guiding him, daring him. Jasper approached, each step heavy with inevitability. His mind screamed to turn back, to resist, but the pull was magnetic. A whisper in his ear, "You've come this far. You know what lies beyond." He didn't. He had no choice but to see. The door yielded under his touch like water. He stumbled through. Light exploded, or perhaps darkness. It was impossible to tell. The air hummed, vibrating against every nerve ending. Shapes moved in the periphery, faces forming and unforming, laughter that wasn't laughter, cries that weren't cries. Jasper fell to his knees, gripping his head as the world twisted and folded. He screamed, but no sound escaped. The mansion was alive, a conduit, a predator, and he was inside its mouth. And then stillness.
Jasper opened his eyes. He was no longer in the hall, no longer in the library, no longer in anything he could name. The room was endless, a vast emptiness illuminated by a pale, unearthly glow. Shapes flickered at the edges of vision, and faint voices called his name. Some were familiar, some were not. He turned, and there in the void stood Harold, smiling faintly. the green-dressed woman nodding silently beside him. They didn't speak. They simply waited. A door appeared in the distance, black and pulsing, the 9th door, or perhaps another. Jasper stepped toward it, hesitant, uncertain, drawn by the impossible gravity of curiosity. And as his hand reached for the handle, the void rippled, and everything shifted again. Whether he would emerge, be lost, or become one with the mansion forever, no one could say. Only the 9th door knew, and it waited. And so, the mansion keeps its secrets. The 9th door waits silently, pulsing with a quiet hunger, patient as ever. Those who have entered, some return, changed, their eyes empty of the world they left behind. Others vanish entirely, leaving only whispers. Jasper's fate is unknown, his story lingering in the space between fear and curiosity. The mansion doesn't judge, it simply exists, a challenge, a temptation, a warning. And for those watching tonight, remember, some doors should never be opened. But the question remains, would you step through if the choice were yours? If you enjoyed stepping into the mystery of the 9th door, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. Subscribe now and ring the bell so you never miss a story that blurs the line between reality and nightmare. And comment below, what would you do if you stood in front of the 9th door? Until next time, keep your curiosity alive, but beware the doors you choose to open.